everybody. I'm Brian.
I'm Dave.
And this is...
I'm Jeff.
All right, ready? Hey, everybody. I'm Brian.
I'm Dave. No, Jeff.
Hey, everybody. I'm Brian.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dave. All right, ready?
You say hey, everybody else say I'm Brian.
Hey, everybody.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Jeff.
And I'm Dave.
All right, you ready? Seriously, let's do this.
All right.
Hey, everybody. I'm Brian.
And this is Dave.
And this is Nacho broke the air conditioner so Hector would take his coat off.
Often incorrectly.
All right, Dave, are you ready to do this? Preview with the prior. We're getting ready for episode 309. That means that there is 2 full episodes before season 3 of Better Call Saul is over.
Yes.
Crazy,
Boo
right?
hoo.
Right.
It's a good season. This has been a really good season.
Yeah, it's fucking...
Slow.
Right. But I'm digging it.
The midpoint episode was absolutely fantastic, though.
Yeah, totally. I like the more focused driving. And there's a lot more...
There's a lot more like humanity, but not like bullshit drama.
Mm-hmm.
But
like
it's still relationships and character development.
Yeah, there you go. Like, yeah, I got you. Okay. Cool. So let's kick it off with some listener correspondence.
Listener correspondence.
From some guy on the TV Time app.
Hey, some guy.
Okay. So my apologies. I didn't get your name. I screen capped this and I didn't get your name. So this is pretty interesting. It was a picture that was posted that says, guys, I found this Breaking Bad reference on Instagram, the same building in Breaking Bad and in Better Call Saul. What makes it amazing, Dave, is this particular picture is with Chuck's walking through, you know, walking down the street and all the buildings are lit up and such.
Yeah.
He passes a theater that's the Chemo Theater, KIMO.
Okay.
It's featured pretty prominent in like the pan out of him walking down the street.
Okay.
Somebody actually figured out that in season 2, episode 3 of Breaking Bad, Walt is sitting in this restaurant or something, and you could barely see the same sign for that theater in the background.
There's a Styx song I've always been a fan of. It's called Too Much Time on My Hands.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's awesome. That's the thing. You know, we don't get that deep.
Right.
Yeah.
The cynic would say, well, yeah, of course, because they both take place in Albuquerque.
Uh-huh.
But when you look at this picture, you can barely see the KIMO in the little corner there. Right?
Yeah.
So that means that somebody remembered the KIMO sign that's barely visible 10 years ago in Breaking Bad.
Hilarious.
And put the connection and all these pictures together to say, hey, Chuck walks right past that sign.
Wow. That's a hell of a catch.
That's some fandom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so amazing.
Very astute observation.
Indeed. Here we go. Brian Holdaway from Twitter says, I think Nacho broke the AC so Hector would take his jacket off so he could make the pill swap.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't think about that. I guess I just figured he would aim for the pocket whether or not Hector was wearing the jacket or not.
Right. It's like the most obvious thing. I think as we were watching it, because we watched it and recorded right after, so we were going off fresh notes. We didn't leave a lot of time for us to process it.
Right.
And I feel like at some point that was like the most obvious reason.
Yeah. But
But as we were discussing it, then we started formulating other reasons why on our own volition.
yeah, we kind of talked ourselves out of it.
We talked ourselves out of it and like we kind of overthought it.
Yeah, we went down a path and then got a little narrow-minded about the path. Yeah.
Yep. Mall of America on Twitter says, Nacho broke the AC because he wanted to make sure Hector took off his jacket.
Yeah, that makes sense. He leaked the Freon out so then the AC wouldn't work, so then Hector would take his jacket off to make the access easier for Nacho to put in the pills.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Neil Goldstein says, Nacho broke the air conditioner, so Hector would have to take off his jacket.
Right, because Nacho also had to take the pills out of his jacket, so he needed to create a situation in which Hector would remove his jacket and like hang it on the back of his chair or maybe in a coat rack or something. So that makes sense. He would break the AC for that.
Good point. Grammy McRae from Twitter says, the drug dealer doesn't have a sick kid. The phone call was for show. Jimmy understood that the $700 would be a business expense.
I'm going to hold to my comment about maybe that little altercation that Carlos mentioned to Nacho was involving that guy from the community service gig. And definitely Jimmy seeing through the guys to know he can manipulate and get that much money out of him.
Right.
Because there was a comment made earlier, it was in the description of the show, that Jimmy finds new revenue or something like that, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I just like to think that maybe the criminal had a heart of gold. I think I said that on the last show.
Yeah, but Julia Roberts already ruined that plot line, so.
As she always does. Grammy McRae also says Nacho broke the air conditioner so that Hector would take off his jacket.
Oh, yeah, because Nacho was practicing like throwing the pills into a jacket pocket. So breaking the AC would create a situation in which Hector would have to remove his jacket.
So I guess we kind of missed the ball on that. But Edu on Twitter says Nacho broke the air conditioner to force Hector to remove his jacket and put it on his chair. I think you guys missed the mark on that one.
You know, we can't be right all the time. You know, we were trying to decide why exactly Nacho would like poke the Freon tube or whatever. So apparently, yeah, he just broke the AC. So Hector would have to remove his jacket because he's a sick elderly person, and if he gets stressed out, he might have a stroke or something. So yeah, breaking the AC, I guess that's what Hector, especially in Albuquerque. It's hot as hell in Albuquerque.
Right. So we didn't quite catch that, but Chris Burwell expands on this, and he says, guys, Nacho broke the air conditioner so Don Hector would take off his jacket and make the swap easier.
I guess that would make the swap easier. It's a better reason that he'd break the AC than just to stress Hector out, you know, to actually improve the ease of the swap of the pills, because that's all part of his grand scheme of things. So yeah, you know, if you break the AC, the heat's going to go up in the room. But you saw how shitty the ceiling fan was.
Right. But on the other side of the coin, Matthew LaValle from Twitter says, Nacho broke the air conditioner so that Hector would take off his jacket. You guys swung and missed on the AC tampering.
Yeah, you know, they can't all be zingers. One of my favorite bands actually named their greatest hits album that. And sometimes we're wrong. We thought it was just to stress Hector out, you know, to create a situation to where he would have to take a pill, which, you know, we assume is poison. I think we've been corrected on that too. But yeah, I mean, he obviously broke the Freon. You know, Hector did take his jacket off, so it proves everybody's theory right.
Yeah. John Miller from Twitter says, Mike's metal detector idea is not that unlikely. The Samaritan likely still had a metal bullet in him, but Mike found the ring finger first.
That's a very good point. That's actually a very, very good point. I didn't even think about the bullet in the body because isn't that exactly what Nacho says? Hector put a bullet in him.
Interesting. Good stuff. Anthony Piccarelli from Twitter says that he took the scene of Mike digging was that he actually killed Anita's husband. A little bit of a stretch there. Because her whole thing was that obviously happened before.
Right, and they established that he wasn't a police officer because the only people that we know that Mike has killed is two cops.
Right. So I think Anthony's way off base there, but that would have been kind of a fun
what a twist. I mean, M. Night Shyamalan twist.
Yeah,
you know, a cheap one with no clues that it's coming.
Melissa Worcester says the drug dealer didn't have a sick kid. The phone call was for show.
Separate person.
She liked the tweet, and I just wanted to give her a shout out. All right, back on track. Ready?
Yeah.
Brian Holdaway says, I think Nacho broke the AC so Hector would take off his jacket so he can make the pill swap.
I'm not so sure that that's the only reason. I think that there might have been more to Nacho's plan. I mean, it's your classic 2-bird, 1-stone scenario. You know, it's not just to make him take his jacket off, but he also wants to stress him out, so he'll have to take the pills that Nacho switched out.
Fair enough. Couple more from our friend Mall of America. Francesca was morphing into her Breaking Bad persona by reading the magazine at her desk, which she quickly hides when Kim approaches.
Slacking off for Saul, but on point for Kim.
Right?
Yeah, I like that. That's
she was probably used to that at the DMV because they don't get much done there. So
right.
Yeah, carrying over old habits. He also goes on to say, here's an irritating trope. The character indignantly tears up a check and drops the pieces onto the ground, and neither party go back to pick it up.
And they didn't. I was going to say they did the same thing in the first episode, but that wasn't in public. That was on a table. I don't even know if it got picked up then. But yeah, that is kind of a tropey thing to do. The whole like, oh, I don't care about this. drop it to the ground.
We tweeted that it was good to see our friend Mel Rodriguez back on Better Call Saul, and he liked our tweet. I just wanted to throw it out there.
Heck yeah, Mel.
Mel's a good guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Neil Goldstein on Twitter says, Nacho broke the air conditioning, so Hector would have to take off his jacket.
I cannot believe that we missed that one. I mean, all the debating we did about what even it was, I didn't even realize it was like the AC that he was breaking. I thought it was maybe like a gas leak or something. But yeah, that's a very good point. He would force Hector to take that jacket off so he can make the switch easier.
Yep. Jeff the Hokey from YouTube says, if the supervisor knows Jimmy is a lawyer, that would explain why his threat worked.
Well, I got that, but I still thought it was cheesy. Because didn't he say he was a lawyer from the very first meeting when he read the entire contract and stuff, and he was docked his day's work for being on the phone. He's like, oh, I did more work than everybody here. Still tropey to me.
Brian Filler from YouTube is giving me a hard time. He says, how would putting one ibuprofen in the pill bottle work? If Hector doesn't get relief from one pill, he'd just go to another. The one wild card is Nacho needs to be with Hector when he takes the pills.
Yes, he does.
Yep, fair enough.
Yes, he does.
I was just trying to think of other ways that it could have went down.
Right.
Yep, or easier ways. But I guess that's true. If one pill doesn't work, he'd still have the symptoms, so he'd still have to go back to the pills. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Make none of them work.
Keith Schmidt on YouTube says, Nacho broke the air conditioner to ensure Hector takes off his jacket.
I can see how that would make it easier for Nacho to switch out those pills. You know, it's he did spend a lot of time practicing his jump shot. Or I guess that would be like the walk by, no look fade. But yeah, it'd be much easier if the jacket wasn't actually on Hector's person and not hanging up on a coat rack. Whereas if it was already hot in there, he would immediately go hang his jacket up. But he made it gradually get warmer throughout the day, so Hector just took it off where he was sitting, making it easier for Nacho to do his little shenanigans.
Fair enough. Our friend Ikemer on YouTube kind of agrees with us and says, yeah, it was kind of a shot in the dark that he would figure out that the guy would have a ring for the metal detector to work.
Absolutely.
And Clayton Florio.
That's why I like the JFK single bullet theory.
Nice. Clayton Florio responds and says, Ikemer, I think it's possible that Nacho told him the guy had a ring. So I think what he's saying is maybe something we didn't see. Nacho told Mike maybe off screen that he had a ring.
Yeah.
And therefore that's where you'd be able to find him. Which, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, Clayton Florio from YouTube also says the reason Nacho broke the air conditioner is because he needed to make sure Hector took off his coat so he could swap the pills.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can't believe we glossed over that and just we totally went on a wrong path. I never once thought about the fact that maybe Nacho broke the AC so Hector would take his jacket off. You know, it didn't occur to me. I guess.
You think people really would have corrected us too after we?
Yeah, you know, I'm surprised at the lack of Twitter responses we've gotten from this faux pas of ours.
Sherry,
and I guess I don't expect people in Albuquerque to layer up.
Nice. Sherry Paulsamo from TV Time says, hey guys, great podcast. Thank you, Sherry.
Oh, thanks, Sherry.
So I think that Kim took on a new client as another fuck you to Howard. Or more so, because during the same meal that Kevin recommended the client and told her she could do it, Howard tried to belittle her. If she says no to a client who is recommended by the only client that is paying her bills, she may disappoint Kevin, and she wants to keep him 100% happy.
That's deep, and I like it a lot.
Howard not taking the loan payoff just showed he doesn't think Kim can really keep Mesa Verde happy. Or at least that's what he wants her to think. Yeah,
Spite is a big motivating factor for a lot of people.
That's true. Cristo Trianto Falou says, Nacho from Facebook says, Nacho punctured the Freon line so he knew Don Hector would take off his suit jacket.
Probably because if you puncture the Freon line, it would affect the air conditioner and make it stop working. And the fan wasn't being very effective. So, yeah, and he drinks coffee, which is a warm beverage, which would then warm your body up. So you would naturally remove your jacket if the AC was malfunctioning.
Gotcha. Joe Sullivan, also from Facebook, responds, I was going to say that.
Well, you should have.
Mm-hmm. Andrew Weaver writes, the jacket thing has been covered. Two other things.
Has it?
Two other things. Why all the pills? Maybe missing one pill isn't fatal, but it's cumulative effect. Why chance it? He can shift the whole stock. But mostly, I can't believe you guys were thrown by the Tic Tac box. He needs to get the pills into the exact same pill bottle. It has a prescription label printed on with his name, doctor, dosage, etc. He would have to counterfeit an exact label so that the pill bottle aroused no suspicion. It's still easier to just swap in the pills.
That's why I'm a podcaster and not a thief.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. I never would have thought of that.
Gotcha.
Obviously, I didn't because I'm on record not thinking about it.
Gorilla Expressions from YouTube writes, belt buckle, loose change. What about the bullet in his face?
That's the response of the week right there. Awesome. Because it's true.
Matthew Raymond from Facebook says, I'm pretty sure Nacho knocked out the air conditioner so Hector would take his coat off and hang it on the chair.
Yeah, he didn't want to hang it on the coat rack. He wanted him to hang it on the chair. Mm-hmm. So I can see that, yeah, malfunctioning the AC system would cause Hector to possibly take it. I mean, that's kind of a gamble. Mm-hmm. Hector might want to sweat it out.
Right.
I guess that's why I didn't think of it, because I just figured Hector was a man and he wouldn't take his jacket off.
Bad Dog Online from YouTube writes, wow, I thought this was the worst episode ever. I found it unnecessarily repetitive. Most of the scenes in this episode have already been established by previous episode. We get it. We know Mike goes to work.
At first, I was like, is he talking about this episode or preview of the prior? We get it. Mike goes to work. That's pretty awesome.
Cooter's Garage from Twitter says, you may be on the 30-year-old wine out of the bullet hole in the cactus, but I think the air conditioner was cut to ensure the jacket was removed. Solid point.
I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking that might be a possibility, that maybe he did actually cut the AC to make Hector remove his jacket. Mm-hmm. I still think he did it just to stress. I think he's onto something. Okay. That might be right.
Josh Denham from Facebook says, Nacho bust the air conditioner so that Hector has to take off his jacket because it's so hot. That way he can switch to pills like he's been practicing.
Oh, so he did it. Okay, that I got you now. So he did it so he could do it as he's been practicing, because you saw Nacho throwing the pills into a jacket on a chair. Mm-hmm. Thank God. I wonder if he uses the same model jacket that Hector uses, like an Ocean's 11.
Like, what if he had like a fucking zipper? Like, that would really fuck everything.
What if he
up.
had a suit jacket with the pockets are sewn shut?
Oh, yeah.
Tuxedo jacket.
Yeah.
Huh?
We'd be fucked up, right?
I guess that's why we didn't think about it.
Eric Reif from YouTube says, it's been surprisingly difficult to find a podcast that covers Better Call Saul as well as you guys do. You really got something here, guys. Thanks so much, Eric. That's super nice.
Yeah, super nice and really inaccurate.
Yeah. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, no, Dave, you have one more thing.
I was sent a link to a film theory video based on Chuck faking his allergy to electricity. Uh-huh. So it was 15 minutes explaining that it's all in his head. Apparently, this is a shock for some people to find out he's not faking it. He actually believes it, and it's psychosomatic. It's still established that it's not real. But, yeah, they're saying it's in his head, which I thought the show made a very... Like, I thought it made that as clear as Nacho breaking the AC to make Hector take his jacket off.
Right.
So good job, film theory, on stating the obvious and taking 15 minutes to do it.
Huzzah. All joking aside, people have kind of taken it to us this week about the whole breaking the air conditioner so Hector could take his jacket off thing.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, even though I think on the course of this preview show, we've only read a fraction of the amount of comments that we got on that. But I got to be honest with you, I love it.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that shit.
Pretty hilarious.
I even responded to a few people that said, you know, you're not even the 50th person to bring this up to us, but please keep doing that, because we absolutely love that people interact with us like that. And I don't care how many people say the same thing about us being dumb. It just makes me happy that people are engaged.
Right. Yeah.
So it's absolutely awesome.
That was kind of a challenge to think of a different response every time.
Absolutely awesome. So, as we wrap it up, we're getting ready to watch episode 309. This should be the penultimate.
The pentagonal, hexagonal penultimate.
The Polychronopolis.
The Polychronopolis episode.
Okay. And so it should be good, right? Because in past seasons, episode 9
kind of climaxes
has been the kind of crazy one, right?
Right. I think that's the one where Chuck hit his head, right? Wasn't that episode 9?
Yeah, it was like the crazy one when like something crazy happens, and then episode 10 sets up the next season.
Yes.
So I'm excited to watch that with you, Dave. We'll probably watch it after this. But
I'm also excited because next week we'll have a bad cliffhanger, I fear. Mm-hmm. So this week won't have. I hate cliffhangers. Hate them.
So awesome. Thank you so much for listening to us, Saul Goodman. I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Better Talk Saul, the Better Talk Saul podcast with Dylan Shuck. He kind of got wrapped up. He made a mistake on his show as well, and I guess he was kind of getting taken to task. And since we follow him on Twitter, we kind of went back and forth, and I'm like, oh, yeah, well, this is what we're taking shit about. And he said, well, you know what? At least nobody's being rude, because sometimes I guess he's had people be like, you fucking idiot. Like, can't believe you got that wrong.
That's just iTunes reviews.
Yeah. And, but really, I mean, people, I like to think everybody's giving us a hard time being friendly, not being assholes.
Yeah. I have convinced myself of that because my self-esteem can't handle otherwise.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I guess my only predictions is that 309 is going to be a really awesome episode. I know this is going long. Dave, real quick prediction on episode 309.
Okay. Chuck gets busted. Jimmy gets rusted. Mike gets crusted.
Nice. Please make sure you check out the Nothing Important podcast at nothingimportantpodcast.com or on iTunes or YouTube or wherever the hell you can find podcasts. We haven't had a new one up in a while, but more are coming. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't check out older episodes, because if you look at the amount of people that we've had on there and just the discussions we've had, it's I'm not just saying it because it's our own podcast. It's a lot of fun doing it. You should check out the older episodes while you wait for Dave, Jeff, and I to get time to make a new episode. Make sure to check out A Plummus Among Us, the Rickest Rick and Morty podcast. Also available just about everywhere. Our discussion on episode 102, 103, and 104 are coming soon. It's just kind of a weird time of year. And this happens to us every year about this time. We get stuck in some sort of weird funk. Mm-hmm. Not really funk.
Just more things.
Just everything coalesces at once. And like, there's always like a weird, because I think what it is the holiday break.
Yeah.
And then because of the holiday break, we all get backlogged on real life stuff. Yeah. So it's even harder to catch back up doing 3 and 4 podcasts a week.
Exactly.
But we'll be back in full swing soon. So please check out the Nothing Important podcast. Check out A Plummus Among Us. And absolutely make sure that you check us out as the credits roll for episode 309. If we were any quicker, we would be live.
And I know this is going to air the day after we're recording, but as we're recording, it is Brandon K. Hampton, friend of the podcast, actor on Better Call Saul as Ernesto. It's his birthday today. So happy birthday, Brandon, yesterday.
Yep, so please make sure that you tweet Brandon Hampton, happy birthday. We'll talk to you Monday.